Alright, it's the mad scientist. So we put 3 injectors in this guy. We did an injector cutout test in Wilmer, Texas, and it said number 1 was bad, number 5 was bad. So I had number 1 put in Wilmer, Texas, and the person that put number 1 in, he didn't like anything about the build that was done at Williamson Diesel. A lot of little different things he pointed out. As you know, if you've been following my page, I have totally rebuilt this truck with my bare hands, period. So anyway, truck's still missing, popping, smoke. What I found out is that the person that initially rebuilt the motor probably fucked me and kept my new injectors and gave me some used ones. This particular Detroit is 500 horsepower. It calls for the 5915 injectors. You might want to double check that number, but that's what it is. But this is just a quick overview how to get the cover off. First, you get the intake off here, there. It's just simple 8 millimeters. I use a power ratchet to do that. This tool right here. Once you got that off, disconnect the fuel lines in the back, both inlet and outlet. They're back here, just so you can see. There's right there, and then there's another one up under there. See, I can move that. I was putting the phone back there. You can see that. There's 2 right there. And then once you got those disconnected, you let the fuel drain out, pull the valve cover, and we're just going to take a look around the other side. Always protect your turbo when you get the intake off here. I usually put a nice terry cloth towel in there. Got valve cover bolts here. They're pretty easy, 10 millimeters. I mean, you know how my channel goes. You got to know something. My channel ain't very obvious. Once I pull that guy off, we're going to pull the front Jake brake and we're going to replace the front 3 injectors. I'll be back. So one of the things I discovered today, we got the valve cover off. Here's where the shop fucked you. Why I don't go to the shop no more, right? This is $20,000 top-end build done by Williamson, all right? So these are rocker arms, all right? And I'm not sure if they make these new or not, but these guys gave me remans or rebuilt. Now let's go to the other side. See if I can zero it in. This guy right here, he's broke. I don't know if you can see that. See that guy right there? He's broke. He just broke right off. And that means that that injector is not being depressed all the way. He should look like that guy in there. I don't know if you can see that. He should look like that guy right there. See that? But he don't. And I got another one broke right there. So I'm gonna pull the Jakes off. These are Jake brakes, for all you don't know. I'm gonna pull the Jakes, and I'll be back. All right. Well, we found what the problem is. These are rocker arms. All right, you got 6 of those, 3 wheels in each, so 3 rollers in each, so that's 18 rollers. The reman rocker arms that Detroit used, they broke. There's one that broke. There's another one that broke. He's not even touching the injector. And there's number 1 that's broken. And there's pieces and shit all down in the motor, you know. But this is what 20 grand gets you. There's a screw right there. There's shit everywhere. So now, not knowing how much these babies are, don't know where that leaves me. I was replacing these injectors today. This one, and that one. Thought I had an injector problem. But now, I might just get 2. Those 3 are new. There's obviously something missing here. See the cap for the spring is not there. The stopper is gone, so he's got to go. Same problem with number 1 though. You know, he's loose. He's broke. That guy, he broke. He broke. 3 is intact, 4 is intact, 5 is intact, 6 is intact. 1 and 2 are clearly broken. All right, that's how you get to the injectors. I'll finish up tomorrow, I'll pull them and I'll reinstall them. All right, people, we're back. The mad scientists got the rocker arms off. Those are my injectors. This guy here, he's shot. The hold down's gone, he's shot. I put these back 3 in about a month ago. The keeper's gone. So let's look at what we found. These are the broken pieces off the injector arm. This appears to be a common issue. I don't know why I got 3 broken at one time on a fresh rebuild with reman ones from Williamson Diesel. I have no problem putting their name out there. So we go back here, $20,000 later, 30,000 miles, you got broken injector arms. Here they are up close. That's number 6, it's number 2, it's number 1. Now what I don't know is if they broke at the same time or why they broke. I do know the Jake engages the injector arm here. Here's my Jakes. I checked all my Jake cylinders, they seem to be okay. I'm gonna pull the injectors out, which can seem to be a little bit tricky. Usually you're supposed to use a pickle fork. I have one, I'm gonna use that guy and get them out. And if you have any other questions, let me know. This is the mad scientist. We broke down here, but we're gonna kick ass and get back together. All right, thanks. All right, people, good morning. Let me turn my talk radio down. All right, people. Like I said, this is the Mad Scientist channel, not for the novice. This is for guys that work on their own shit, and I got 30 plus years experience in this, in automotive and diesel, and I'm just going to give you some tips and pointers on what I'm dealing with, and hopefully it helps you with your 12.7 that might be kicking your ass or it might not. First of all, let's take a look up top, see what we're dealing with. So as in the previous videos, we talked about this engine was rebuilt by the professionals, and I don't know if they just didn't like me or they was having a bad day. I don't know what the fuck is going on. All right, so number one, most of the work that Williamson did was okay, I guess. And the reason why I say I guess is that if I was rebuilding a motor for $20,000, a top half rebuild, there's just certain things that I would do to ensure that the customer wouldn't have problems, even if I had to charge the customer, but I would at least let them know. One of the things is that you should always replace this fucking harness. I don't care what the fucking book says. This is the injector Jake brake harness. Replace that shit. I mean, for what it costs and the headache gonna cost you later, replace that shit. This guy right here, he's 6mm bolt. You take that off with a 1/4-inch ratchet and you just barely tighten it. Act like you're rubbing your wife's ass or something. I don't know. Well, maybe some of you guys are hard on your wife's ass. I don't know. Now, let's get back to this here. So this is an injector. There's 1, 2, 3. We replaced those a month ago. These are 7650s. That's what this engine calls for. The assholes that rebuilt the motor the first time, they put 5880s in it or something. I got pictures of that. Like I said, if you need questions, ask me. I don't know. Now, down in there, you can see that's injector cup. The little brass guy down there, right? 12.7 injector cup cannot be replaced unless you get the fucking head off. There are some guys that are pros that swear they can get them. Fucking phone call interrupted the video. There are some guys that swear they can get them out with a special tool and replace them. I've had a head taken to the shop, redone, and had it cut and checked and shit. They didn't change them. This head is a reman head from Williamson, so it's got new cups in it. I gotta clean it out. You see down in there. I'm gonna clean that guy out. Fucking camera shit. Like I said, just know it needs to be cleaned out. I'm gonna use a terry cloth rag and a screwdriver. Remember, always cover your turbo. These guys right here, they go on the end of the injector. Detroit came out with a service bulletin that they were having problems with the injector seating down in the cups. I would imagine because of heat and, you know, metal fatigue over the years. You got to put that on the tip of the injectors. Now let's walk over here and see what the fucking injector looks like. All right, so I showed you the old ones. And then here's a brand new one, or a reman. That's reman from Detroit. That tip is going to go right there. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you how to put that on now. I'm not really an instructional guy. Like I said, you got to have some kind of sensibility if you're following me. If you don't got no sensibility, unfollow my ass. There you go. So here you go. Now I'm going to take this off here. That comes off there. That's the injector tip. See, it's nice and clean. All right. And then, put that back on. Here's what this Detroit calls for, $76.50. That's a rebuilt reman by Detroit. I don't got nothing against the Chinese folks, except so half of them communists. And that's all right though. But in this particular case, I wouldn't buy an aftermarket injector for this engine right here unless you're going to build an aftermarket 12.7, meaning bigger turbo, bigger intake, tunes, and all that shit. And I haven't even found a high performance 12.7 injector that's worth the shit. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna take a little ring here, and this guy here, he just simply slips on over here like that. Now you gotta be careful when you put them down in there, because he won't stay. So what I found out is on the lab, but this is the application for it. So what I found out on the last 3 that I did, I put the guy down in the hole first, and he can't make it through the hole where the nozzle goes through. And I get him straight, then I sit the injector down in there. That's how I deal with it. I'll do one, maybe, show you how I did it, and then you can take it from there. Right now I'm gonna clean the injector cups out and get ready to put these 3 injectors in. Holler back. Got my injector cup holes cleaned out. Let me show you what that look like. Use the towel. Nice and clean there. You see them down in there, okay? Now, I'm gonna put one of these in, show you what I do. Hopefully that helps you. I'm gonna try to hold the phone and do it without making an ass of myself. So hold on. Set this over here. All right. So what I do is take this guy here. I use a body tool when I used to do body work. Put them on the end right there. And I slide them down the wall, and then I put them in position. The bevel should go down. Like I said, anybody that's a mechanic or know anything about this type of work, you know what the bevel means. I'm not going to go into that. The bevel goes down. All right. And then what I do is I just center the injector, put it down. There is some stuff you're going to need to use. Let me get that for you. To lube the injector before you put it in the hole. All of us dirty old guys know what that means. I use this stuff right here. You know, the bottle looks like shit, but it's a lubricant plate 105. Here, let me wipe it off just because you guys are. I don't want to be that much of an ass this morning. Hold on. Another thing, I mean, with me, I always use clean rags if possible. I just, over the years, especially in auto body, you gotta use clean rags for 1,000 different reasons. There it is. That's what I use. So be liberal, lube the injector up, and then this way you won't damage your O-rings. It'll slide down. There's a couple other guys that I follow, Gingrich, Shreveport Diesel, and you know, when you put the injector in there, it's gonna basically click down, like you'll feel it like click down. And then when you put the injector hole down in, check your specs. Anybody that knows me knows how I deal with specs and torquing and all that. I've been torquing shit since I was 12 years old, so, and I'm 52. Stick that on there, lube it up good, put it in the hole. I'll show you what this thing looks like in the hole, this guy right here. Then I'll show you how I put the injector in there after that. Right back. All right, I got the carbon fiber washers in place. I'm not sure the exact name of them. I'll find out later. You can see it down in there. I put them down in there. I basically use that tool, slid it down the edge, and put it into place. Now I'm going to set the injector in there. I'm going to set one injector in there, just show you how I kind of just guide it straight down. Got to make sure the injectors are centered, like that guy. And And I'll show you how that works. Not a cameraman. Back in my music days, I hired somebody to do this shit. The best I can here for you guys today. Here's injector A. Remember I said we gotta lube this guy up here. Lube this guy up. I'm gonna wipe him off. I'm gonna lube him up. And then I'm gonna slip in the hole. Stand by. So a couple of guys I follow, they always talk about make sure you lube this up good. You got 3 O-rings. You got fuel travel around this guy. You got coolant travel around that guy. So this is how you deal with this guy here. Like anything else. I deal with mine. Got it all over. Didn't put, you know. I don't want nothing to break. I don't want an O-ring to break. I'd rather the engine take its time to burn that bullshit out. I don't want it to break. I'm not a Detroit expert, but I'm a mad scientist and I know what works and what I don't work. So, give me a couple more years, I'll be a fucking expert. Actually, a couple more months. So, I'm gonna put this guy in the hole now. I'm gonna go right here, number 3. So he's down in there, and then I'm just gonna give him a little push. There, you heard him click. So, clicked. He's in. Alright, that's injector hold down right there, okay? Once he clicked, he's in. If you didn't catch it, because I got to keep moving, I will, if you email me or whatever, I'll send you an email or just how it goes in there. I'll slow the video down, break it up, whatever you need me to do. As long as I don't get bombarded. I don't like the viral shit unless I'm getting paid. Alright, this is a 5mm. Hold on, camera like shit. Alright, this is what I'm using to put the injector harness on. This is a 5mm 1/4" drive. I got another one, but the guy's working on the truck over on the other side. So these are the bolts right here. You gotta loosen them up, and then that's gonna slip down over there like that. Slip back. Do not crank those guys. You see how small the wrenches I'm using. Hand tight, snug them. You break them, you just bought $400 injector. Alright, 3 injectors in. And we're going for the rocker arms next, and then we're doing overhead. Alright people, apparently this is a common problem with 12.7. Just replace this guy right here. This is how you run your racks or do an overhead. You gotta tune in there. You can see where somebody previously marked this guy. These are the broken ones. That one's broke. That one's broke. Got the parts, no freight liner, $300 a piece. There's a new one. Apparently they break all the time. I could explain to you how to take this thing apart, but it's really easy. You're gonna slide it off, and each piece comes off separately. Once it comes off, and you replace the one in the middle. I'll give you another video of how it looks taken apart, but I can't hold the camera right here, but this moves up and down, it slides that way, and we'll go from there. Alright, so this is me taking it apart. Try to hold the camera, show you how this comes off. Sliding out the wrong. You can see it slides off. Shaft there, I gotta get it to come out the end here. And I don't want it to come out the other side here. Dick. Hold on. Alright, you can kind of see I got it off. You had to hold it right and get it off. The broken piece is gonna come out the back. Just like that. You're gonna slide the other one in. This piece is also separate, the rocker arm here. So, comes with 3 pieces like that. That goes over there. We're gonna slide our new piece in. Alright, I'll edit this video. There's the new rocker arm. We'll slide it in right from the back. That's it. You line it up and you slide it back on together. Piece of cake.